awesome, cool uncle that you hang out with. That's kind of what John, like, our relationship is a little bit. He's really cool, though.
He's like 40 something.
I think he's 44.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
It's right around.
That's not ancient though, just so you know.
No. There's just a certain sizable gap there.
Yeah, there's a big gap. So, because I'll be turning 46, believe it or not, in December. Yes. So I guess I'll be your cool uncle too.
Dude, he's another cool uncle. I like cool uncles. They're the best.
Let's see. Do we have another one? Oh, there we go. Yes, sir.
First off, I don't know if it's okay, but can I get a selfie with you? I was supposed to ask.
That's a little awkward.
But I have a question on top
Yes,
of it.
what's your question?
But is that okay?
If you take it from way back there, we can all like be like, yeah.
Stand there, turn around.
Sharpshooter selfie.
Come to the edge of the stage. Come to the edge of the stage. Turn around and flip a selfie that way. Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
Here, we'll do it.
Awesome selfie.
Okay, no one else. That's it. Okay.
And,
What's your question?
my question is for Jeremy, like, when you do the voice of Finn, is there a place mentally that you go to do that?
Good question.
Yeah, I kind of go into like a mental state of like a 5-year-old girl. No. Honestly, for Finn, like it's, especially now after doing the show, like we just finished, or recording-wise, we just finished like the 6th season, and we've done like 200 episodes or something like that. So by now, like I know the character just super well, and it's really easy for me, especially voice-wise, just to kind of go into that character voice. Because my normal voice obviously isn't really Finn, especially not now. It was in the beginning. Then I was 12, so voice change. That happened. And so throughout the first season, like you can kind of hear my voice changing a little bit, and then after that point, I kind of turned it into more of a character voice, and so it's been pretty level for the past 5 years. But yeah, it's really easy for me to kind of get into it. I just know the character really well by now, and also the artists and writers kind of know what they're doing extremely well by now, and so it's a really good give and take there because they kind of know usually where I go, and I kind of know where they're coming from, and so. It's just almost like not like a psychic link, but it's kind of like they know the character really well, and so they're kind of writing for me, and if there's something that is like, I think Finn would say it more like this, that's kind of where it comes from.
I think consistency is a big thing that we all focus on. You know, he wants to make sure his character is consistent, and we want to make sure that we're not putting his character in situations that he would react naturally.
Yeah, definitely.
Come from that way.
Thank you. Yes, in the aisle right here.
Will you do the rest of the interview in the Finn voice?
Well, I can do some of the interview with Finn voice, that's for sure. Maybe I'll just play it. Like I said, it's really easy for me to give that voice. It's pretty simple. Just say random math puns that make no sense, because Finn sucks at math. I suck at math, so there's some good similarities between me and Finn.
Yes, hand over here in the back. Go right ahead.
What is it like being Finn?
What is it like being Finn?
Mathematical! I'm gonna do some of it in the Finn voice. Some of it. No! It's pretty crazy. It's weird. Like, when I first started, I didn't think that it would be this huge, massive, like, phenomenon that it's become, you know? Like, I was like, oh, this is this cool cartoon, it'd be really fun doing it, and, you know, the things you expect to blow up and be huge, oftentimes aren't. And then the things you just think, oh, this is like this cool little anime project, this is really fun to do, ends up being this massive thing, and it's just awesome. I just remember like the very first time we ever did San Diego Comic-Con in 2011, I think? Or 2010, 2011, coming out on the stage for the panel there and just seeing this massive crowd of like a couple thousand people, and being like, wow, okay, people actually like this thing, because I had no clue to that point if people really liked it or not. I knew there was a huge kind of YouTube following for the original pilot, but it was crazy. And being Finn is super fun. I get paid to basically just scream my lungs out every Tuesday. It's kind of an awesome job, I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of times people forget, if I could just bump in, a lot of times people forget that like this is our job, so really the only time that we get to see how big of a deal it is to people is when we come to things like this.
Yeah.
So, like we just live our lives, go to our job, and do our thing, and then we come back, it's like, oh wait, people love this stuff. This is great.
And it's like the thing that people look forward to. Like, and, you know, I have people like, you know, tweet at me like all the time, like, oh, like Adventure Time, like whenever I'm feeling down or anything, I'll watch it. And it just like makes me in like such a good mood. And that's just awesome for me to hear. Like that we can be kind of making people's day, you know.
One of my favorite guest stars was when George Takei.
Oh yeah, speaking of Star Trek, George Takei.
I actually wrote this down, his quote. Here we go. Can I do my George for you?
Dude, do it. I love it.
This is when he meets, when he's playing Ricardo,
Oh
right?
my gosh. Great character, anybody like Ricardo?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Ricardo at your service. I've been waiting all evening to meet you, princess. I've heard about you. You appreciate ancient technology. Have you ever been used a Belmophonic laser to align the hypernautilus rift in a Boobatron plasmodial formation? I love George.
Oh my gosh.
You should. Everyone should.
Yes,
great.
yes.
He would, oh my gosh, he's awesome. He was so fun when he came in, and that line in particular, they just gave him like this insanely sciencey line, and he was like, perfect.
Yeah.
First try, got it.
And that's the thing about George, is that he's so, at conventions, you know, his line is huge because he takes so much time with each fan. I mean, and you remember, oh yeah, he'll be sitting there and he'll say, so tell me, how's little Johnny doing? Is he in college? Oh, good. I didn't know that. I mean, he's just, really? You can talk about little Johnny? Right? Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, and then the other side of it, bless his heart, William Shatner, it's this, sign autograph, hand it up, sign autograph. Doesn't even look up. So that's the other side of it, you know. So George Takei, if you have a chance to see it.
It's hard sometimes.
It is. You know.
Sometimes you've got that morning coffee and you're just like,
Yeah. Right. There you go. Let's get a question from the front over here.
So is there any interesting stories, this is for both of you, about how you got the job, or was it just you answered an ad in the paper?
Yes. How did you get the job of film?
I don't know how you knew it, dude, but I did answer it in the paper. Is that true? They said, no. That would be amazing. Like, need a cool sounding kid voice for this random character who screams a lot. I was like, you know, I don't know if I could do that, but why not? Could be fun. Could be good. I have an agent, obviously, for all my acting. I have a voiceover agent. I'm a live action one too, but. So my agent got the breakdown, sent me the breakdown and stuff, so I could audition. And my dad kind of recognized the project name because my older brother Zach did the original voice of Finn or Penn back in the original pilot when it was like a Nickelodeon short. And so we kind of looked at the original pilot on YouTube and we're like, wow, my voice sounds just like this. And so I kind of tweaked it a little bit, and I auditioned, went back a couple times, got the job, and then nobody except, I think, Penn, the creator of the show, knew I was his younger brother until the first day of recording. They're just like, wow, we got lucky, dude, you sound just like the original.
So how long was that process then?
From start to finish, from auditioning to recording the first episode was probably like, well, actually, from start to finish, auditioning until getting the job was for like 3 weeks or something, which honestly for like acting is an extremely short amount of time.
It is.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that's like the shortest. It's one of the shorter I've ever had. Like some stuff just drags on. Like you get like a month later, like, oh, could you come back into this project you don't really remember at this point? Sure. I don't even remember what I did for it, but okay, I'll come back in.
Yeah, I think for Voyager it was 3.5 months for me.
Yeah.
To figure out. Yeah, it was tough. Like what happened was they narrowed it down to myself and one other kid from New York City. And then when they were done with that audition, I talked to the casting assistant. I said, "So what happened?" Because they're sending the kid from New York home. I said, "So I got it?" No. They're going to spend like a couple of weeks to look at older Ensign Kims, like 30-something Ensign Kims. Like,
of course they are.
Yeah, right. So I had to wait another couple of weeks and duke it out with the last guy they had there, last man standing. So it's, you know, the casting process is so weird. And Jeremy's right. They could literally call you a month later and say, "Oh yeah, can you come back and read for this?" You go, "What? I don't even have those sides anymore." They're like, I threw them away.
And people, everybody does it little bit differently too. Like some of them really quick, like, oh, we kind of know who we want. Some of them they're just looking for like months on end because they just haven't
no
found
clue.
that one because they have no clue what they want.
No.
It's crazy.
Do you go on more VO auditions, voiceover auditions, as opposed to live?
I do a good mix of both. It's hard to track because like the VO ones, I generally just kind of do them all at once really quickly, and I can just send them in from my house, which is awesome. And I usually remember the live action ones more just because I have a lot more prep time that I have to put into it. You actually have to drive in there, you know.
Yes.
It takes a lot more time, but I think it's pretty even. I might go out a little bit more for live action stuff.
Gotcha. Derek, you're about to say something.
Oh,
Say it up.
no, I was just going to say how I got on the show. So.
Yes, please tell us.
So I answered an ad in the paper, and
Dude, everybody answers ads papers.
it's the only way to get into any industry.
Keep getting into acting or just anything in the movie industry, just answer an ad in the paper. Or even music. I think that's how Justin Bieber started.
Yeah.
He just answered an ad in the paper.
YouTube said,
Said,
hey, we
need
need
new
guys.
young guy superstar. He got it.
I mean, what category of classifieds would that be? Just random general Hollywood jobs? Is that what it would be? Hollywood jobs.
Hollywood newspaper.
Next to garage sales.
So I actually self-published comic books for like 7 years, just writing my own stories, doing my own art and stuff, and eventually just ended up meeting people from Pixar and DreamWorks who were fans of my work, who would buy my comics. And when I got sick of the job I had, which I was the lead illustrator for a greeting card company, I'm just like, I'm done with this. So I sent emails out to all my friends that worked in entertainment. I said, who knows of a job that I can have? I'm sick of drawing greeting cards. And I actually had 2 friends that were working on Adventure Time, and one of them was like, well, I'm leaving, so you might be able to have my job when I go. And
Dude, his loss.
so yeah, he's a dummy. Actually, and now that I think about it, I was trying out for the show for a good 6 months. So I worked on the show for 6 months just from Salt Lake City, where I lived at the time.
Is it like kind of almost like an internship-ish?
I guess, I mean, I was getting paid like full scale and everything, but they weren't like, you have the job. It was just like every Monday they would send me new work. And I'm like, so is this gonna be a thing? Am I gonna get work every week? Like, we don't know yet. Just do this and turn it in. So
Just keep working and we'll tell you if you're actually going to work or not.
You know what you sound like from Princess Bride? You're Wesley talking to the Dread Pirate Roberts. They're like, well, I must have kill you tomorrow morning, but just good job, good work, and I'll see you tomorrow.
pretty much. So
That ties at any point.
yeah, that's how I got it.
Sweet. So when they told you you finally got it after 6 months, that's when you moved to LA then?
Yeah, so they gave me 6 months to sell my house and, pack things up. So I worked for 6 months and then worked another 6 months from home on a nice salary. So that was good. I wasn't doing the freelance rate. I was doing like the salary rate. So living in Salt Lake City for 6 months making Los Angeles money was nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
And I moved to LA.